Hello, everyone. Hope we are all in preparations for the week that has just started today. Of course, the markets open later on in a few hours' time, but the week is going to be a busy one. We have NFP, we have ECB interest rate. They could have something to put across, but a lot of Euro and USD information coming out, or events, if you want to call them like that. So we're going to look at mostly the what is related to the dollar because we have a lot of dollar related stuff this week, but also in case you have other pairs that you're looking at and you would like us to break them down and put them on our social media pages like Instagram, also Telegram. You can check the link in the description. Comment the pair below. We shall look at it. We shall break it down and share it with you on those pages. So let's start with the DXY. Remember, if you want to trade anything related to the dollar, you have to first start by its strength. I've mentioned this here by the correlation of the USD. So anyone can tell you that this is something that is trending upwards. The question is, which key area are you interested in? I've mentioned this also here several times, but we are still going to go over it again. So let's start with the seeing how DXY is moving because it's going to help you determine whatever you want to see in the market. Now, if you're to observe this market actually has been moving upwards for some time. You can see we moved from this point up to this area here, right? And again, we have moved from a point here. So there's a higher chance also we may be interested in coming up to this point up here. So, but that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in just where price is, right? Because this is the monthly time frame and it's a very big time frame. So if you have to observe, this high here was a very strong point and the market came and made these lows here, also making it a very strong point. We had an impulse. This is like a correction. So the market finished with an impulse. So meaning that this is a very strong point this is a very strong high. So you can mark it here like this, right? You don't have to go very far in time. So you can see the market has reached here. This is a previous resistance. The market was rejected. Previous resistance, market was rejected. Price came and recognized it by reacting, then came back. Now you see it's struggling. False breakout, false breakout, false breakout, and we have tested. But this is an improper retest. So there's a chance that we could come back inside this area before maybe we continue higher. So that's what we observe in the monthly time frame. When we go down the weekly time frame, remember this slab is very big. So what are we interested in doing? We are just going to reduce the slab a little bit, just like this, so that we can have a very neat chart. Now, when you come to the weekly time frame, also this is the noise that we saw in the weekly time frame, in the monthly time frame. Sorry, you can see this. This is the noise. So we see that the noise by saying that we had an improper retest here. There's a high chance that the market could come and tap into before we continue. And what do we observe now? Let's try to zoom in and observe everything very well. So when you can observe here, we had the market that created. We had this. You guys can call it an order block. I call it a foreign body. The market made a high, higher low. This had an equal high, right? So this is a higher high. So the market is retesting. So remember, we want the market to come and touch inside this area before we can continue higher. Remember, we're interested in the market going higher, but it won't just move in a straight line, right? So it means that we have now the market is correcting. It's coming down in a corrective way by making a low, lower high, low, lower high. So if we are to just mark, I'm going to use lines. If we are to mark, this is a low that the market made because it came down by creating this low, lower high. So it broke a little bit down. This is like a false breakout, but again, it is back into these levels there, right? But we're interested in tapping in here, then it goes. But it didn't stop the market also from breaking upwards before continuing. So you have to keep that in your mind. But all in all, we're interested in a DXY pushing higher. But the best place for it to start pushing high will be if it taps into this area here, then it starts rejecting, because this is a corrective move, which is very good. We have a very good push higher, higher high, higher low. Then now we're coming down in a corrective way, right? What I call a weak momentum, which is very, very good. Now, when you go down the daily time frame, what do we observe? Now, this is the level that I've just marked for you here. And we have said that the market is just trapped within this area here because we marked this as a low, but the market made a false breakout and then came back inside this here. So we're making equal high, equal low. Of course, a bit of a false breakout that the market may come and want to test properly, but it will be best if the market can come and tap inside here before changing the trend. And what corrective way have we talked about? We have talked about this corrective way here. So observe this. This is an impulsive move, but this is a corrective movement. So we want it to give us this corrective movement and then to change the trend so we can continue. So it will be a push, correction, push. Is what we want to observe. Now, as a trader, we are very interested in this move done and we would identify. So the market created, these are equal highs. So it made a low, lower high, low. This is a low, but the significant low is this one here because this acts like a false breakout. So we have broken back. So we're trapped here. If the market closes below here, it means that we shall be interested in tapping into this area. If it closes above a proper close, you guys need to understand the rules of proper break and retest. If properly closes above, it means now we shall be targeting these highs here, right? So that's what we observe. So if you're trading anything related to dollar, if you want to determine strength, wait for it to either close below here, a proper close, guys, right? A proper close, not any type of candle close. For example, someone may say this was a strong candle close. This was not a strong candle close, right? It was a good momentum, but not a strong close that may make the market continue lower. That's why you see it pushed back inside, right? So I mean a good candle close. If it can do that, then we shall be targeting these areas, meaning that the dollar will start weaken a bit for a short time just to come and tap here. But if it rejects and then comes and properly closes above, then, for example, even this candle here was not a proper close. So you need to understand what proper close is and a candle that is not properly closing. So that's what we're interested in. If you're trading the anything related to the dollar, this is what you expect to see. They're all waiting, maybe because of the big events that are coming. These big events will give us either that we are breaking below or breaking above. They'll all determine that, right? Because we have a good push. This is a corrective measure. Best it will be for us to tap inside this area here before even breaking above. Actually, I would prefer the market first taps in here before changing trend. If it does that, then we shall have a low, lower high, then a low. If we can react here like this and we close above, then we shall have a proper break, then we can be targeting these highs here, right? So DXY is very clear. We're just waiting. It's correcting to come and tap into a major area before it can gain strength again. We all know that the dollar has been hit for some few weeks, but let's now check Euro USD. First, I'm starting with Euro USD because it's one of the most traded. Now, you all know that Euro USD, personally, I was waiting for it. You guys know that we're waiting for it to change trend, but it never changed trend because the structure, according to me, is still bearish on Euro USD. But we're going to look at it again, right? You guys can just refer to the previous video that we did. According to me, I'm still bearish, though the mini push that we have upwards is still, you can see it's bullish, and you don't want to start selling in a bullish market. You can, if you guys recall very well, even in H4, I told you guys to wait for a change of trend, and you can clearly see we had no change of trend. We spoke about it when it was around here and wanted it to come and react here, and then it breaks below. It didn't break below. You can see corrective measure. This is the push that we have just seen on DXY. It could be the same thing that would happen, right? A corrective measure, it came push, corrected, and then it continued upwards, making higher highs and higher lows. You don't want to buy in a bearish market, and you don't want to sell in a bullish market, right? That's what I've been emphasizing always. Some of you just mark levels, and when price touches your level, you start looking for trades, right? Avoid that. Now, let's start as usual from the monthly time frame. Now, when you come to the monthly time frame, let me just expand the candles here. When you come to the monthly time frame, I've spoken about this area very, very much. So we have this price also, right? That is there, and also we have this last lower high here, right? If you want, you can use this low here, but because the market has been ranging here, though I have a very key area here that it will determine very much. This is when the market was coming down before testing here. This was untested level. The market made a lower high. So after breaking here, we expect automatically the market to come and test these levels here, which it did with this false breakout. If you go to the next lower time frame, you'll see it's a false breakout. Grabbed the liquidity here, came back as a false breakout in the next lower time frame, retested here. So there's a higher chance. The way I'm saying that the structure is still bearish is that there's a higher chance if this monthly candle, today is a new month. Actually, it is just so aggressive, but if it was to come and stop around here, there's a higher chance because we have a hidden structure. This is what I spoke about in the last video. This hidden structure here, which was as an M, we said we wanted to come and retest it, but we're currently still above it. And you don't want to sell when you're at support because we're above a previous resistance, which is now support. You don't want to sell in such a price, right? Level. So when you go down the weekly time frame, just adjust. Remember, don't leave your charts shabby. Adjust your levels. So for example, I'm just going to adjust like this. This line is still the same, so that your chart is very neat, right? You can see the market has broken above, and this is acting as a support. It was resistance. It reacted a bit. You can see it, right? Reacted a bit to it. Now it is rejecting to it. So there's a higher chance that if the market can react and then creates double tops and closes below it, react, then we shall be targeting this level. But for now, there's no need to be looking for a sell if the market is still above a support level. You don't want to sell at support. It's the mistake that most of us make. And you can't see such levels when you just start analyzing the smaller time frame. Some of us think that when we start from H4, that's a very big time frame. No, right? So weekly is agreeing with monthly. We are still caught up here. Then when we go down the daily time frame, what do we observe? Now, daily is very, very clear. Daily is still pushing higher, right? We still have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, Seeing this? No, the market has broken above, and again, the market is coming to retest this area here. And you can see this is a good push. This is a weak momentum. So what we're interested in here is, let's just mark our levels. We can clearly observe that this was, when the market was coming down, it made this low for us, right? Then which level retested that? It was this area here, right? Meaning that which area gave us this retest? It was this significant push down here, right? So meaning that when the market came and reacted to this level and broke above it, it means that everything now after here we're looking at is a bit bullish. So you can clearly see that the market came, it made what? All these things we have learned. Someone may be saying, I'm seeing stars. No, this is a high, higher low, high, higher low, high. So we're currently retesting here. Are you getting it? This is like a support. You don't want to sell. Even if we are seeing that weekly, this level here was a resistance. We wanted the market to come and test it. But currently, we tested it and we have continued. We have broken above it. You don't want to force the price to do what you as a person you're feeling. At first, we have a structure. Let's just go back to monthly so that we can see it properly, right? Maybe you were dozing when I was explaining it. Let's just repeat. Recall, we said that there's a hidden structure here in monthly. When you go to line chart, you'll see it very well. I think this, we spoke about it in the previous video. We said that this is an M, this type of M. We talked about types of M. This is a type of this M here. You see we closed below the neckline. Then we said that we're interested in the price coming back up. That's the buy we talked about on Euro USD, right? So we said when we reach here, we shall be looking for change of trend to sell back down here. Now, you cannot just sell when the price is still bullish. Since the market is moving, for the mere fact that it has touched, it's not a guarantee that you're supposed to start selling. That's what most traders get wrong, right? And why most people are losing money. Now, when you come to weekly, also weekly is agreeing. We said that in weekly, we had the market that printed this M here. We talked about it going to retest here and then continuing lower. We spoke about that. You can check the previous videos. Then in the process, we created this type of M, the same type of M, right? So what are the rules? We expect the market to come and retest. Now, when we retested the neckline, yes, we reacted. But this reaction was not enough to change trend. That's what we are seeing in the daily time frame. This is the importance of top-down analysis, right? You can see monthly we're showing you that we're supposed to go and test the neckline. Currently we're above it. Weekly is showing us that we're supposed to go and test this neckline. We reacted, yes, but currently we're above it. Also, daily is saying that why are we currently above it? This is the same area. The market came, right? Reacted to this area, yes. But remember, it failed to break the previous resistance because it printed a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So you don't want to sell in a bullish market. Very dangerous. Instead, since the market is overreacting, just touched once, 2 times. So if you want to sell, wait for the market to do what? Wait for the market to close below this area. On a weekly test, then you can sell. Unless that happens, do not look for sales on Euro USD. Instead, since we're above a resistance, just look for targets or areas that were not properly tested, and then you can take your trade. So you can also look for ranges. We have this neckline here, which is holding price, and this bottom. So if price, let me just extend this. So we have you can see the market is reacting here, also reacting here. So making equal lows, equal highs, equal lows. So we're waiting for the market either to break above. When it closes above a proper close. I'm repeating this because some of us don't understand what a proper close is. A proper close, and then a weak pull back, then we can continue. If the market breaks this area, it will mean that because this is a high, higher low, high, higher low. It means that this area has already been tested. The moment we break it, a proper break, it means that now we are ready to go bearish. Do not forget that. Now, of course, we don't take trades from these time frames. We take trades starting from H4. Now, H4 also is a big time frame for some of you, and you don't like using it. But personally, it's my favorite entry time frame that we look at. Now, if you also observe H4, H4 is very, very bullish. Significant high that reacted here, gave us a higher low. We pushed higher. We come and retested it. We pushed higher. Now we have come to retest this area here, which we retested, and now we are here. So now, what are we interested in? We're interested in the market. You can mark the typical high in case some of you prefer not to take a very high risk trade. You can decide to just mark the typical high that the price gave us. In case price went above this area here with a good break, when it comes back with a pullback here, then you can look for buys. But in case price, for example, we have made this low here, lower high, lower low, so we have reacted to this area here, right? In case price, it has closed above. In case price pushes and now it has retested this area and kept moving like this, that's when you look for buys. But the moment it fails by giving us, this is a high, higher low, high, higher low, gives us a weak momentum, and it breaks below, and also gives us a very strong pressure by closing below this area here. It means that, of course, we have retested all these areas, but the moment it closes below these areas here, on a weak retest, now we can start looking for bearish momentums, right? Now, the more you go to lower time frames, it will become more confusing because the candles are becoming many. It means that now you're actually going to start trading shorter distances. Risk to reward ratio may squeeze you a bit, but still you can go there in case you mark your levels properly. You can just keep adjusting these levels. So those who trade Euro USD, you can compare with your setup, and that's what I have, right? But so far we're above this resistance level here, which was previously resistance, which has now, it was resistance here, but now it has become support. You don't want to sell at support, very dangerous, right? And also for us to sell, we have said that we want it to break below this, so it becomes resistance again, and then we take our sell. The moment we break above here, you can clearly see we have already established here the previous low, right? We have reacted to it already, right? We have broken above and retested. The moment we keep breaking above, it means that now we're still continuing in an uptrend, right? It's not very hard. It's not going to be easy as I'm showing you here. It's how many times you see it, how many times you practice and backtest. Now, also let's look at gold. I've spoken about gold. I made a video specifically for gold. I don't know how many people followed it, though I did not do a follow-up on it, though we have been trading it. Now, if you look at gold, let's just go to daily. Just allow me to clear this. Why am I talking about gold? Because so gold is XAU USD. It is paired against. Now, the last time we spoke about gold, we're saying that either it also closes below, we're saying that either it closes below this area to come and retest this area, or if it's go to continue above, your first target should be this area, and then the second one, this area. And that's what gold did not break below. So it has been making higher highs and higher lows until this area here, right? So now when it reached this area, the selling pressure became high. So the question is, what next for gold, right? Guys, as I'm breaking down here, please don't forget, I may not break all the pairs that you want me to look at, but you can comment them below in the comment section. The team will gather them, then we analyze them and post them on our social media handles. In case you're wondering what our social media handles, our link is just in the description. Make sure you use the link in the description. Do not just go and search for it on social media, right? So let's start again from the monthly time frame. We're not going to go so far. So monthly time frame, you can clearly observe that we had a very major level that was broken, right? And actually the market tested it. So we have an impulse that is moving. But in the process, last month we printed a high, this high here, which I'm just going to mark here like this. I'll adjust it as we go the lower time frame. We printed that high. Now when we go the next lower time frame, we can clearly see that we had a high here that the market broke and retested, meaning that we left this area here untested. Are you getting it? So we have something like a high, higher low, then a high. So this area here is not tested. And currently we have a market that printed this high, and it's like an impulse also. So when there's an impulse, what do? You want to bring out a fib, right? You bring out this fib and you drove until that highest point there. So you can see it's among a star fib. Now the correlation, sorry, the alignment will come in there. Now when you come to daily, you can see we have a foreign body, or what you call an order block, just around here. Are you getting it? This is the analysis. I'm just recapping on the analysis we had before this. So we say that if the market was to break below here, would look for a weak retest in the lower time frames and target this area. But if it failed, we're just going to be looking for a break above retest. Then we are targeting this area and this area. You guys can go and watch the last video on gold, right? Just a few videos, or one video back or 2 videos back, not very far, so that you can understand this very well. But I've done for you a recap. So we're just going to build on this. Now, since we have already marked our levels, what are we going to do with gold? Now, when gold was moving up, we can clearly observe that we had our trend. We had the market breaking above this area. I'm just going to change the color for us. We have this area, market. Let me just increase the candle so that you understand very well. You see the market created this high, broke it, retested. Then what happened again? The market created this high, retested it, broke it. The market created this high here. Now, here is why things become interesting. That if you don't understand the topics that we talked about, significant highs and lows, it will become tricky. So in case you have not understood or watched that, marking which level is significant, which one is not, make sure you watch that video. It's very, very important. So we had a high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Typical uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is where we are. So what happens here? We expect the market to come and retest this area. and then continue higher. But what happened instead is the market just closed below. So since the market closed below, meaning that I'll be interested in this area here. Are you getting it? So since I'm interested in this area here, I'm just going to make my chart clean and delete the rest. You're getting the market closed below here, and it means I'm not interested in this area now. I'll be interested in this area here. So then I'll just, when the market closed below here, it means that now I am looking for sales. I'm not looking for buys. It means that the market is tired of making higher highs and higher lows. This is what it means. Very simple and very clear, right? But it's very hard to observe this if you're not doing it from a bigger time frame. See, we started from the monthly time frame. I marked for you this high here. This is the high that we marked, right? Marked that high, and we said that we had broken above some levels. When we went weekly, we said that the market made a high, higher low, a higher high, higher low. But then this higher low, why is it stopping up? Yet we had an impulse here, and this impulse we drew out. It is just in our fib levels, and we had an alignment in daily of this foreign body. Now, this foreign body, what you guys call order block, acts as support and resistance. So since the price is above it, it's now acting as a support. You can see that it reached, price reached it was rejected. It came again, it was rejected. Came back again, rejected. Tapped again, it was rejected. Then the market started trending upwards. So it means that since the market is no longer interested in, it's no longer interested in pushing high, it means that now we're going to be looking for sales to come back and test these support levels. So you can just go down to your entry time frame. I love using H4. I don't know how much I can stress that. So I'm just going to, since now we're already in a downtrend, it means that now I'm interested in this level. So we have an order block here, or what you guys call an order block. Personally, I just call it a foreign body. Then also you can just adjust all these. You can adjust all this. You can look for levels that were not tested. For example, we have this area here, price tested it. Then we have this area here, price came and tested it. Then we have, was this area here tested? Let's try to find out. Yes, this area here was tested. So you can mark that. You can start with that. Then also you can have these hidden areas here as your targets, right? Let me just extend this side. So depending on the type of trader you are, we're just now waiting for the price to close below this area here. Known in a weekly test. Of course, you can refine. We have spoken about importance of time frame. You can refine. It has not yet broken, guys, right? The price has not yet broken. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for either a proper close below here, right? A proper close, guys. When the market closes properly, refine it. Go to minute 30, or you can go to any lower time frame, and then you look for a weekly test into this area, and you can target this level and this level. Now, if the market aggressively goes, and because we are still trapped, we have a low, a high, equal lows, equal highs, right? So we are now waiting for it either to break above or to break below here. So if it breaks above, someone may be wondering, where will I be interested? We shall be interested in the part that the price did not test. We have this area that the price did not test, right? And also we have these areas here that the price did not test when it was breaking below. If you were very keen, these are the same levels I had when I was just starting to analyze this. Also, we have a threat around this area here. You can just mark it. So these are the levels that you can use on gold. Just mark them on your chart, right? Mark them on your chart and follow them with a proper rule of break and retest, break and retest. These are the rules that the price is going to follow on gold, right? So currently, we want, these levels are not tested. You can see this one is not tested. This one is not tested. This one also is not tested. So either the price will change trend from here and then comes and breaks above. When it breaks above properly, we shall retest it and we target here. Once we break above, or it does this, breaks above, like that, right? Or if it closes below, a proper close, a weekly test, you can refine it, go to lower time frames, and then target this area here. So those who trade gold, you can just align it with your setup, and then you see where you agree with me, where you disagree with me. Also, you can just tell me in the comment section, and also tell me why you disagree with me, right? But all in all, we're using the same technique and the same topics that we do here. These are the things that I do every day. So the last one that we can look at is, we can look at either USD CAD or GBP. I don't know which people. Since we have looked at Euro USD, now let's look at USD CAD. Because GBP USD and Euro USD are almost the same. Let's look at USD CAD, also another commonly traded USD pair. So when you start from the monthly time frame, I've spoken about this several times. You can check either on our breakdown, channels, our social media handles, and the rest. I've spoken about this. We have this impulse because we are breaking a couple of turning points. So we have a market that has broken. It had an impulse, so we have corrected. So there's a possibility of us continuing higher, but we're having some bit of range here. You can see we have this range that the market has so far touched once, twice, third time, fourth time. So whenever there's a range, you can clearly observe that this same area also here, price is not breaking below it. So it has touched once, two times, the third time. So since we have touched up here and we have a threat here, in this move up, we have this bit of turning point here. So it means that market has to either break below it for us to come and touch down again, or it has to reject to come back and touch here. Very good starting point. What do we have? We have a resistance that the price is not breaking above. We have this rejecting price, rejecting price, rejecting price, rejecting price, right? Down also here, rejecting price, rejecting price, rejecting price. But we are saying, you can see in this move, we have a market that created a high, higher low, high. So it's like a W, this kind. So we have this neckline. We can only start thinking of sales, currently the price here, we can only start thinking of sales when the market breaks below or closes below. On a retest, we can target this low here. This is the low here, right? But if the market fails to break here, then we can come back. If it fails to break here, usually our first target is this, or it can even make a higher low. You remember the rules of a W. W has the following outcomes, right? It can either create, after the retesting the neckline and failing to break, it can make a double top, right? Or it can make a higher low, or it can make a higher high. So those are the outcomes that we expect from this W structure here, right? Now, let's see if this appears perfectly in the weekly time frame. As usual, when you go to weekly, make sure you always adjust your slab so it's not so big. So this upper one is okay. So the downer one is also okay. Or if you want to make it smaller, you can just adjust it like that so it's not so big. Then also in the weekly time frame, what do we observe? In the weekly time frame, we can observe that we had a market that created a low, lower high, low. We came and retested this point here and made a higher low, right? So we had like also a W. You can see here, this type of W. This type of W, low, lower high, higher low, this type. You can see low, that, higher low, then we closed above. You can see it's a W. So we came, broke above this level, retested it. So this is a higher high, higher low. These are equal highs here. So this is a higher high, higher low. And you can see the momentum. The buyers are strong, but also we are correcting downward. So if the market fails to break this point below, there are higher chances we could come back here. But if we break down here, then there are higher chances we could be targeting this low here first, right? So if you want, you can also, since the market is a bit in a range, if you want, you can also mark this area, right? And also you can mark this neckline area just to help you have levels. So now let's go to the daily time frame. Now daily time frame, it's just the same thing. We're just waiting for the market to give us the final verdict. So we have this area here that price has been failing to break, rejected, rejected, rejected. And also we have a weak momentum downwards. If you want, you can have a counter trend line, right? It's creating like a pattern. It breaks above, then we can be targeting that high point. If it breaks below, we can be targeting this lower point here. Are we together? So those who trade USD CAD, why are we having a lot of ranges in all these pairs? Euro USD, gold, you can see gold is ranging, Euro USD is ranging, GBP USD is ranging. Why? Because also the DXY is ranging. Remember, we started with the DXY. Don't forget that. So to make your chart clean, you can just adjust these levels depending on, for example, here, you can say that I can just decide to adjust it depending on this area here. Let me just adjust it. I can decide to adjust it depending on this area, right? Depending on the time frame that you're comfortable, you can decide to adjust it to this area, and also this you can decide to adjust it to that area, right? So that your chart is not so congested. So you remember this line here was a neckline in the weekly time frame. This one here, this one price closed around here, so you can mark it. That is what you're seeing. It's like an M. Price made this type of M. So when you make an M, we expect to come and test a neckline, which we have done. So it's either making double bottom to fail to break. Then when we break above here, we are going to retest this. When we break below, we are going to retest this. A lot of ranges because the DXY is still ranging. The moment the DXY breaks out, everything is going to be more clearer. So this is your helping point, right? We have a previous strong resistance. You can see 1, 2, 3. Then finally we broke above. Now we are retesting, right? Then once we break below, we know that is a proper break. Understand the difference between a proper break and a bad break, right? And also I want you to observe the momentum. The buyers were a bit strong, and then you observe this. It's a bit shaky. So, but you don't just guess like that. So we shall be waiting for the market to properly close above this, a proper close, then a week retest. Someone may say, but it has been closing above it. I need to observe the way it was closing above, not worth it. Those of you who understand the rules of break and retest, these are not proper closes. You can see this, not a proper close, not a proper close, not a proper close. You can observe this, right? So we expect a proper close, and then the next rule is a weak retest, just the way we are seeing a proper push above. Now we're having this. So according to me, there's a high probability of us pushing this side, but we don't want to guess, right? That is just, we don't want to guess because we have a strong momentum, a weak approach back to the level that we broke. These are the rules of break and retest. And you can see the candle here, good candle. The next ones follow to show us that the buyers are strong. Now we're having very many sellers struggling by creating this mini trend here to try to push above. So if you want to check how it's progressing and you want to trade between these levels, you can just drop lower to your H4. And as usual, you can still again adjust if you want. We can still adjust these levels just to match our time frame so that we're not so much congested. So in H4, we can clearly observe that the price is making a low, lower high, low, lower high. So the more it keeps doing this, it can keep lower. But if you want to trade back to this level here as an intraday, the moment it stops making that and it changes trend to start trending upwards, you can target this area as an intraday. The moment it breaks above here, remember intraday, we're just trading with levels. Also, we have this area here. You can mark it just, we have this area here that you can mark, right? This is, I'm just going to change the color to green so that it can help you for those who are scalping in between here. When it changes trend, you can first target this area because it's not tested. You can see price did not test this area, right? So the more it keeps, when it comes and taps into this area and changes trend, you can target this area. So react a bit, breaks above, you can target this area. If it breaks above again, you can target this area. Intraday and scalpers were not holding trades for long, as long as there's a change of trend. And always make sure you refine if you're doing those short-term trades. But if it breaks below, this is our area. So that is it for the start of the week. Other pairs, you can comment them below. We shall be able to break them down and we'll post them on our social media handles. Our social media handles are in our link tree in the description. Have a profitable week ahead.